Hello and welcome to the sportsbet.io Euro podcast. This is the German version. We're going to take a look at all of the big news in Germany and ahead of some really interesting games coming up over the next few days. As always, we're joined by the brilliant Taufik Khalil, who's going to give us his thoughts. We're going to start with Dortmund against Bochum. Now, Dortmund, Taufik, off the back, obviously, of a very strange result, it's still, I think, quite hard to know where Dortmund are at.
Absolutely. I think they don't know by themselves where they are right now. It's real crazy how they perform on the one side and then on the other side go to Stuttgart, and Stuttgart is just rolling over them, smashing and crashing them. Everybody expected something different. Well, last week my prediction for that game, I totally screwed it up. So I was not
Everyone did, though. Everyone did.
I was not even close. No one expected that things like that happen. But I think if it comes to predict something about Borussia Dortmund, you have to be more careful because, as I just said, it's still they are on the point that they don't know where to go with Nuri Sahin as a coach, who is playing where and what and how. But come on, there's no excuse for showing that what they did last weekend.
And also, this is the perfect game, isn't it? I know there's been a lot of discussions behind the scenes about, the rumours about questioning tactics like you were mentioning there, questioning what Shaheen's perhaps trying to achieve. But if you could choose one game, possibly in this entire division right now, you'd say at home against Bochum, wouldn't you?
Well, but the thing is that Bochum, well, yeah, they are down. They are on 16, but it is a neighborhood. It's a neighborhood match. It's only about 20 kilometers between the two stadiums, and so it's right. It's on one road. You can get out of the Bochum Stadium, jump on the I think it's the B1, drive less than 20 minutes, and then you are at the Borussia Park in Dortmund, and for them it means a lot. So this is definitely the matches where these little teams overperform, while the big one really has to take it serious, has to come on it. Maybe they are already in their head a little on next Tuesday playing against Celtic Glasgow. Maybe that's a big problem for Dortmund, but actually there is no room for this thinking besides the Bundesliga, because Dortmund is falling down onto 8th position so far. This is absolutely not what they expected by that time of the season. They wanted to be in contention with Bayern Munich and Bayer Leverkusen. Now they are far away. So they need the points, and there's more pressure on Dortmund than it is on Bochum.
Was there genuine expectation of a title challenge this season? Was there? I mean, looking at obviously what Bayern did last season, looking at Bayern, we didn't know what to expect from them under Vincent Kompany. Was there a realistic expectation that Dortmund could challenge this year?
Yeah, I think because everybody, Dortmund spent a lot of money. They bought players like Girassi and weakened teams who were in front of them in last year, but by the end of the season, like Stuttgart. But Stuttgart, as I said, they really crashed them, and
revenge for that. Yeah.
And so it shows that Dortmund, well, yeah, they have this new coach. They have to get together after a long time with Edin Terzic. But once again, it was everybody when you ask. And when you ask the officials at Bayern Munich or anyone else in the Bundesliga said, yeah, it will be Bayern Munich, it will be Bayer Leverkusen, but it also will be Leipzig and Dortmund. No one had Stuttgart in his mind. Was Stuttgart still struggling in the season? Now they had one really good match and they played well in Madrid, but still Stuttgart needs to prove something. But as I said, it was Bayern and Bayer, and it was Dortmund, which are I think the first three. But now Dortmund is far away.
Well, yeah, if they're sitting in 4th right now, or maybe even 5th, you say, okay, it's still relatively early, but down in 8th, that terrible result against Stuttgart, it starts to build and roll a little bit, doesn't it? In terms of that game, by the way, 1.26 for Borussia Dortmund. Now, I do think Dortmund win that, but that price might be a tad short if you're looking at 1.26. Bochum just don't tend to do well on the road, even if it's only 20 kilometres down the road. One side who've really impressed so far and perhaps have surprised is Freiburg. They're 1.64. in this game against St. Pauli. One of the surprise good starters. And obviously, we just spoke about a team having a very short away trip. This is a very, very, very long away trip. It's North Germany to South Germany.
Well, it is absolutely, and Freiburg is not only South Germany. South Germany would be Bayern Munich. Then you can take an easy plane from Hamburg to Munich, and then it's 20 minutes from the airport. But Freiburg is on the far west corner of Germany, very close to the French and the Swiss border. It is one of the toughest trips to come for the fans to go there. The team might find a way to fly to Strasbourg or maybe to Basel and then take the bus, which might wait there. But it's a long way. Actually, it is, and it's a long way on the board between these two teams. And when you see and in the expectations, I think Freiburg also. Very strange season for them. After I had the feeling he was there, Christian Streich, for about 250 years. After this new coach now, no one expected much from Freiburg. But hey, come on, they play great football. They have great results with their new coach. They're doing a good job. They have excellent players. They have a system behind them. For me, Freiburg could be one of the big surprises. Could be the new Union Berlin this season.
Yeah, 1.64 to win that game. Looking through this squad just very quickly, Eggestein, very good player. Adamu's had a good start to the year as well. 2 in 4 for him. Obviously, Gunther, who's been around for a long old time. It feels like he's been around for 250 odd years, doesn't it, Gunther? But at the moment, Julian Schuster doing a very good job there. And Freiburg, 1.64, that does look interesting value. This is obviously all a build-up to basically the big game of the week, and it's the one we're going to focus on most intently, obviously. We mentioned this as you were doing your warm-ups, Taufik, which is Bayern Munich against Bayer Leverkusen. Now, this game is the game of the week across Europe. 1.73 Bayern Munich to win this game. Leverkusen 4.2. Bayern have scored 20 goals in 3 games.
In 1 week.
In 1 week, right? 20 goals in 1 week. Leverkusen have scored 12 in 3, which normally you'd go, 12 in 3, that's a phenomenal haul. But it's still nowhere near what Bayern have done. Have Bayern surprised you? Obviously a talented squad with good players, but no one knew what to do under Company. They look freer, and they've surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, well, I think when you talk about Bayern Munich, everybody expects only the big, but this is bigger than the big, what we have just seen in the last weeks. I was very happy to see all of these games. I was very close with the games, and I'm really still try to really understand how excellent that kind of football is they play right now. Yeah. But come on. Just let's make it careful. They played against teams like Werder Bremen. They played against Kiel. They played against Zagreb. I don't want to make it little, but now they have, within 3 days or 4 days, they have Leverkusen and Aston Villa, and then 3 days later, I think it's Frankfurt or something like that.
Away at Frankfurt.
It is Frankfurt. It might not be another 20-goal week for everybody who will go with Bayern Munich. That would really surprise me. But yeah, it is a surprise how clear they play this kind of football in this short time, in this short period since Vincent Kompany arrived. He wanted the team to play. That's the thing everybody expected him to play. It's this mixture of high pressing football he prefers and the Pep Guardiola one-touch tiki-taka football, what he learned during his time at Manchester City. He always says that Pep Guardiola is maybe the coach who influenced him most. And I had the luck to see Pep Guardiola for 3 years when he was in Munich, and it was good football we've seen at that time, maybe the best until now, because now it's even more, to use that word, sexy than it was with Guardiola, because it's much more speed they play. It's unbelievable what the players does. Last year under Thomas Tuchel, Bayern Munich was the laziest team of all in the Bundesliga. There was no team who did less kilometers per match than Bayern Munich. Now They are on one. And you can tell these kilometers come from running, especially the fast guys like Sonny, for me, unbelievable. Michael Olise, unbelievable. You take Kingsley Coman, you take Serge Gnabry, all the fast guys. As soon as the other team has the ball close to their own box, the players start to attack, press, high speed. Imagine yourself having a ball on your foot, and then Michael Olise comes with 36 kilometers an hour just running towards you. Your head might be too slow to see him coming and to find a good place where to play the ball, because the other players who are close to you are already under attack by the other fast guys. And this is the kind of football. And this is how I think out of those 20 goals, they scored about, I would say, 8, 10 by winning the ball back close to the other box when the other teams lose the ball. But once again, it was against Kiel, it was against Zagreb, and it was against Bremen. Now, this would be very interesting to see what happens when Bayer Leverkusen, team with excellent football players, with a clear mind, a coach with a clear mind, Xabi Alonso, and with that fast guys like Boniface come. As soon as Bayern Munich is pressing so high, and when you see that the last two players, which are close to their own goal by Bayern, were Upamecano and Kim, and even they were 10 meters into the half of the opponent. Right. So against Leverkusen, they have to play much further back, because on the other side, if Leverkusen wins that ball, if Bayern loses a ball, if they are close to the Leverkusen box, it will only take 8 seconds for Boniface to go from one side of the pitch to the other with ball. And so that I think we'll see a little different football. I think they will not play that absolutely pressing thing. They will do it. They will try to enforce the mistakes, but they have to be very, very careful. For me, it's the match of the season.
Oh, I absolutely cannot wait for this. I really can't. I mean, in terms of Leverkusen, we've sort of briefly mentioned them. Xabi Alonso, obviously, will be delighted, because sometimes you get long runs without losing, you lose, and then you just can't quite find your momentum, your pep again. They lose late on, of course, against Leipzig, but since then, they've kind of carried on as normal, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. They are back to normal. Well, it's in the past there was Bayern Munich was always called Lucky Bayern. Now a lot of people started to say Lucky Bayer, because this Lucky Bayern came from scoring a lot of goals in overtime. When the match normally would be over, Bayern Munich scored a lot of goals. Now Bayer Leverkusen is doing that. But is that only luck? No, I don't think it's luck. It is a sign of mentality. Xabi Alonso, Real Madrid player, Liverpool player, Bayern Munich player, learned that by that clubs. These clubs score late in matches because they are better trained than others. They have more speed at the end, more energy, and in their mind is when it's 2-2, it's 92 minutes played, it's 4 to go in overtime. It's not that they think, okay, we are happy with that 2-2. No, they press for the winning goal. And this is the difference. And this is new for the Bundesliga, that it's not only Bayern Munich, no, that it is Bayer Leverkusen as well doing that. And so that's why we're not only talking about, there's a German word, it's called Dusel Bayern. Dusel means something like luck, but luck in a way like, oh, it's just you only won by luck. But right. It is not. For me, it's hard work.
Well, I mean, that Wolfsburg game, for example, is a prime example of this. They kept going. They went down, obviously, kept going, got it back to 2-2. Gerhardt gets sent off. And then Boniface is able to score, 91st minute, 90th minute, something like that, and win the game. But again, like you said, they kept going.
Last season, they won 7 matches in overtime.
Wow. That is not just lucky. I mean, to use an English example, there is a thing called Fergie time for Manchester United all those years ago, when Manchester United were good. Yeah. And sometimes there's a little bit of that, but often it was just that Manchester United were better than everyone else. This game's incredible. I'm going to ask you to call it. Who wins it?
If you, I would say Bayern Munich wins it. And if you would say, will we see some goals? I would say yes. Give me a result, then I would say 4-2.
4-2. That'll do me. Any 4-2 in any direction. Loads of goals. A wide open game. I cannot wait for this, Taufik. Thank you so much, as always, for your fantastic company. We'll speak to Taufik again ahead of the next round of Bundesliga fixtures. But this weekend, Bayern Munich against Bayer Leverkusen. And of course, plenty of other games as well. Leipzig-Augsburg looks quite interesting. But this is the big one, not just in Germany, but across Europe.